Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society, and welcome to my review show here of NXT Spring Breakin, Week 2, April 30th, 2024, from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Dude, great show. Can't wait to dig into this and give you my constructive criticism of the proceedings. So, the first bit of news, the WWE draft took place. Once again, I have smudgy fucking reading glasses every time. How does it get that bad? I don't fucking know, bro. But that's the news of the week here for NXT. The draft. And it looks like Kiana James, Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, Lyra Valkyria, Blair Davenport, and Dijak have been moved up to the main roster, which gives me some severe concerns. Now, not only that, Bron Breakker and Tiffy are up there. You know, my old favorite Tiffany Stratton, who I don't get to see much of anymore because I don't watch the WWE weekly product. And Baron Corbin is headed back to the main roster as well. So this is what I want to elaborate on. I'm just concerned. I'm concerned because I've been watching NXT for some time now, and I always felt like Cameron Grimes was a really good act in NXT. He seemed to understand the character thing. He always had a storyline. He seemed to get over. Don't think they even gave him a shot on the main roster to do anything, really. Just my assumption. But we know that this is a thing. And look, the Vince era did not help. But we know that this is a thing that happened for years and years and years. An NXT guy will get brought up to the main roster, and then they wouldn't do anything with them, and then they get released. It happened all the time. Remember the one of the worst cases where they brought Sanity, that stable, up. Why bring him up to SmackDown if you just weren't going to put him on TV and then just split him up and then release half of them? Same thing happened with the Ascension. Like they were a great team in NXT. Bring them up and you just fuck them. Anyway, that's what I'm concerned about, because you know what? Like Kiana James, okay? First and foremost. And I'll get into the show soon. But Kiana James, doing a great job in NXT. Thought she had some more work to do there, but that's okay. She's ready for the main roster. I have to be honest. She's got real solid in the ring, and she's got the character down pat. Okay, she's got the character down pat. But you know, Izzy Dame, her and Kiana started doing some good work together down there at NXT. Izzy's only new, and I thought she was improving quite a lot working with Kiana. Now, where does that leave Izzy? Where does that leave the Mean Girls Club? Ilya Dragunov, you know what? His time in NXT was done. It's time for him to go to the main roster, I think, too. He did a great job as champion. Cool. Carmelo Hayes, definitely time to go up to the main roster. Him and Bron, that was their plan for such a long time, that Carmelo and Bron would be, you know, the two tippy top NXT guys one day. And they ended up doing that. Lyra Valkyria, sorry, I could never get it right. That was a bit of a surprise for me. Not that she's not ready. I just thought, again, she had a bit more time to go in NXT. But, you know, okay, fair enough. Good for her. Blair Davenport, definitely ready for the main roster. No problem there. Still think she could have had a NXT title reign beforehand, but that's all right. And Dijak going back to the main roster, about bloody time. Hopefully they re-sign him, because I think he has tremendous upside, and he was without a doubt one of the performers of 2023 and had been doing a very good job in 2024. But, you know, I have these concerns. You know, I don't want them to blow their load too quickly on Bron Breaker so that there's no story to tell for the next 15 years. I don't want them to go too soon with Tiffany Stratton because, again, she's also young. You need to remember you have 15 years probably worth, maybe even 20 for a Bron. You have all this time to tell stories and tell a journey for them to get to the ultimate destination. Don't rush them to the top too soon, even though they're over like a rover. And Baron Corbin, look, had a hell of a run in NXT there. Needed to go back to the main roster, but I reckon he'll look back on that run in NXT and think that's how I wish his career or my career goes on the main roster. That's what I think he would think. Because he had a great run there. He was actually seen as a threat, and he actually was able to become a babyface, and he got over as one. Anyway, let's get to the fucking show, shall we? New NXT champion Trick Williams makes his way to the ring. He gives props to Ilya and thanks him and wishes him the best for his trip to the main roster. Then this is where things got very, very interesting. Lash Legend interrupted. As we know, a few weeks ago, Trick Williams and Lash Legend shared a bit of a pash, which I thought was hilarious. And I'm just glad that they could. Well, I thought they were going to continue this love storyline between the two of them, but I don't think they are. Because I think these two have chemistry. Anyway, the fact that Trick was really flirting up a storm with Lash Legend here, and it was just so heartwarming and humorous seeing the fans react to some of the things that Trick was saying that that Lash wants Trick to be her little Reese's Pieces cup. You want to take this gold off top and get to the chocolate on the inside, don't you? That was really good, bro. So Lash has an envelope which has the truth behind it. We don't know what that truth is. And she says to enjoy his title reign because things are going to get really hot. I see. Well, we'll see what happens, hey? I like when there's a little bit of mystery in the air. We go to a vignette of Gigi Dolan and Ariana Grace at a restaurant. Again, Ariana calling Gigi Georgina is getting me every time. What kind of person is that? They use this segment to hype the show and talk about different matches, and also highlight the differences between the two of them. This is like it's like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, the two very vastly different people been put together. Gigi's the punk rocker, who kind of acts like a bloke. And Ariana's, the beauty queen. Gigi burping to Ariana's disgust as she's trying to teach her about the cutlery on the table. Good stuff. Femi makes his entrance to the ring, and Trick Williams and Femi stare each other down. Tell you what, the African Americans are killing it in NXT. Right. North American Championship match here. Femi defending against Ivar. I knew this was going to be good because Ivar's been a surprise package. I hadn't noticed him much before because, again, I don't watch the main roster stuff, and Viking Raiders, they never really get many stories or pay-per-view matches, and that's what I mainly see of WWE, is the pay-per-view matches. But when I've seen him recently, I think I saw him on the Go Home episode of Raw, whatever. Vastly impressed. Anyway, looking forward to seeing Oba find a way to topple Ivar here. Great back and forth between the two. Ivar got his shit in, and Sassafras, that big son of a bitch Ivar there, he maximized his minutes. Sassafras. if I'm Ivar's tag team partner, I'm biting my nails at home. I'm thinking, stop looking too good, bro. By the time I come back, they're gonna want to keep you as a singles. Um, Ivar, he put Femi against a barricade and cross-bodied him like he's on the floor with his back against the barricade, and he did a crossbody and it just like snapped the barricade. It was great, very well put together. Um, spot of the match had to be Ivar doing a flip off the top rope to the outside, and just he laid Oba out with that. He went balls to the wall, bro. 3 impressive spots from the outset from Ivar, but I feel like Femi is taking to his North American title defenses like Camille did in the NWA, making your opponents look so good that it's more impressive when you still get the win. Femi carried Ivar on his shoulders and hit a Samoan drop, which was crazy. Another crazy spot. Ivar hit a moonsault and crushed Femi. Femi managed to get a rope break, but then he reversed a moonsault into an electric chair drop, and then he hit a pop-up powerbomb to retain. So Femi wins in 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Let's move forward. After the match, Wesley, of all people, Wesley shows up. His theme song hits and he appeared in the crowd. Back when Wesley was flying high in NXT as the North American champion, I criticized him a lot. I feel like he has no personality. I don't find him very entertaining. When he left, the floodgates were open for me to pick on Nathan Frazer. But now Wesley's back. I've got someone to pick on in NXT again, bro. Happy that he's been able to get over his injury, though. I'm sure that was pretty scary for him, but to have hit, look, the crowd popped. Good. But the dude is quarter of Femi's size. Femi better dominate him like he did Dragon Lee. They have a stare down as we cut to backstage, and Thea Hale and Chase U are with Fallon Henley, who's upset about not being drafted, upset about the situation she's found herself in. Thea convinces her to come out with her to the ring, and they all walk through the backstage area and enter through the crowd. That was a cool shot. That shot that they're doing where they're following people from backstage through the entranceway to the ring is getting rave reviews, bitch. So let's hop to it. Singles match, Jayne with Jazmyn Nix. Yeah. Taking on Thea Hale here with Andre, Duke, Fallon, and Riley. How is someone allowed that many people at ringside? Give me a break. They start off smacking each other up the head. Vic and Booker T bickering about Jayne and how she treated Thea Hale. Champagne viewing, champagne television. Booker T somehow finding a way to justify how she treated her is unbelievable. I love that they always have these background stories that last for some time. They're just in the background. You know something's going to happen at some point. And then here's the blow off right here. Thea has very likable qualities that I think will serve her career very well. I think wrestling fans like her because she's kind of like the girl next door. I think wrestling fans really like that, don't they? They like to think of some of these female wrestlers are like, maybe I could go out with her. You have no chance, fat boy. All right. Shit. Speaking of dating, I wouldn't mind dating Fallon Henley, who is here at ringside as well. Jacy and Fallon, they are definitely in that next class of NXT talent that are ready for the next level, brother. They are ready. Another great spot was Thea headbutting Jacy at the same time, and they both went down. The ferociousness from Thea Hale in this match. The ferociousness. Good stuff. Jacy is on point as well, bro, in the ring, and there was a lot of heat for this one. You could feel the heat. Can you feel the heat tonight? I just sang Elton John. Fallon got involved and accidentally copped a Pele kick from Jazmyn Nix, but she saved Thea in the process. Then Thea managed to make Jacy Jayne tap to the Kimura lock, and that went 7 minutes 57 seconds. Thank you. Thea Hale wins by submission. After the match, dude, Fallon Henley got in the ring and laid Thea Hale out. And I'm like, what the hell was that about? That was sick. I love heel turns like that. Thea was so happy because she had just triumphed. She just triumphed and she'd beaten Jacy Jayne, the person who made her feel so bad about herself and was a bully and nearly changed her and who she was. She was so happy, jumping around, excited, smiling. And then the one shot from Fallon Henley and all the boys are checking on Thea and she's crying and upset. I always find it funny seeing somebody go from the tippy top height of happiness to the complete opposite in a sheer moment. Her whole happy moment was ruined. It's fantastic. Moving forward, they have a sit-down interview with Tyriek, Igwe, and Tyson Dupont, my boys from Level Up down there. They talk about their background and how they got to the spot they got to. I like the introduction to the big boys here. E for effort, bro. E for effort. I apologize if I keep pausing this. I worked a 12-hour shift today and I am exhausted. And I'm trying so hard not to yawn. Okay. Tyriek, Igwe, and Tyson Dupont taking on the OC in the next matchup. Karl Anderson, Luke Gallows. Igwe and Dupont facing the OC was super interesting here for their debut. They are impressive, and I couldn't wait to see how they went. They started off solid. Tyson got a hot tag and looked great. Tyriek looked great. They utilized their strength. Karl Anderson did a very good job making them look good. Unfortunately, though, for Igwe and Dupont, the OC got the win after hitting the Magic Killer. And I guess that is the result that probably needed to happen. But, you know, I think Tyriek and Tyson are going to be a big deal one day. I see the potential. They're very good. They might need to fix up their bloody ring gear, maybe. I don't know. Not everyone has to look the same, but, you know. Okay. So they showed footage of NXT people getting drafted to the main roster. There's hoping that they all go far. I have a huge interest in seeing them move to the next step and succeed. Bro, I had to splash my face then. Okay, I'm feeling a bit better now. Ava makes her entrance in it's going to be Battleground. Yeah, Battleground. The UFC Apex. That's where they're going to crown the NXT Women's North American Champion in a ladder match. Thank you. Thank you to NXT, bro. Thank you to them for doing what I've been screaming for. Layers for the women to climb so that the first title that they win isn't the main title on their brand. You need layers for the women. Big proponent for it. Any hooser. They will have a combine with the 12, with a whole bunch of the women, and the 12 best from the combine, which we'll find out about next week. We'll do battles in singles matches to see who qualifies for a ladder match, the same way that the first one, the men's one, was contested. Here we go. Jada Parker interrupts. I don't know how many microphones they have there backstage, but all of a sudden everyone has a microphone in their hand. She interrupts, Solruk interrupts, then Ariana Grace comes out in a panic and doesn't want the ladies to be so aggressive. Then they're interrupted by Mitchin, the former Mia Yim for some reason. But I think maybe it's important that Mia Yim is sent to NXT right now to help the trajectory of her career like it did for Baron Corbin. Mitchin ends up nailing Ariana, and then all the women ran out for a massive fight. Because that's what you do. But they're all vying for that NXT North American Women's Championship. My pick before was Blair Davenport, but she's gone now. So, who would I have win it? I mean, I probably have Lola Vice win it, to be honest with you. But Jada Parker would be a bad choice either. Sol Ruka, not a bad choice either. Who fucking knows, mate? So also a bit of news. Scripps from Out the Mud is apparently leaving NXT soon. Feel a bit bad for him, you know, just like I feel bad for Von Wagner. I will say, though, I don't think Out the Mud truly need Scripps. He's good, but he doesn't really add much to the team in the fact that, like, he doesn't really get the chance to wrestle very often either, and they don't really have a cruiserweight division. So, I mean, maybe he would have done good on WWE Speed, but anyway, let's skip. I'm not going to talk about all the little backstage segments. It's all just whatever. Singles match, Shawn Spears taking on Ridge Holland. So I thought this was going to be good, and it was. I just wonder where this story is headed and if Ridge is going to join with Spears at some stage. The big man Kryptonite, the steel stairs, turned the tide early for Ridge as he collided with them. Spears was in control out of the commercial break. This happened during it. Ridge fought back with gusto, you little son of a bitch, and he hit a military press slam. Then a QR code for about a quarter of a second showed up on the screen. I managed to get it. I managed to see what it was about, and it's probably something to do with Bo Wyatt or Bo Dallas. Soon after this, though, big boy Ridge hit a big DDT and got the win over Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time, mate. 7 minutes, 35 seconds. I'm surprised. I forgot to mention this, but the OC beat Igwe and Dupont in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It felt like it went longer than that. Anyway, let's move forward. So Ridge Holland gets the victory there in, sorry, did I say the time? 7:35. Right, we've got 2 matches to go. Thank you for sticking with me. Also, I'm going to be responding to some tweets at some point after I'm done with the show here. Roxanne Perez, the psycho hose beast, backstage yelling at Ava, the general manager, her boss, about not being drafted to the main roster like it has anything to do with her. Roxy blames her even though champions can't leave NXT to the main roster, you stupid little... You bloody so-and-so. She storms off all angry at Ava and says that it was Ava's fault. Piss off, mate. Briggs checks on Ivar, and they talk about Femi. Wesley walks in talking about his North American title, the title he never lost. Who gives a shit? Back to the fucking front of the line. All right? Hit the bricks, kid. You don't just waltz in and get a title shot. Ivar says he's not done with him either, and Wes will battle against Briggs next week. Who gives a shit? Nothing against the guys. I'm just tired. They cut to a promo with Paul Ellering. Fucking so sick. And then the final judgment. Is it the final judgment? Hang on. The final testament. I've written the final judgment. Oh my God, bro. Because they are kind of similar to the Judgment Day. The final testament are wanting all the tag team gold, bitch. Karrion picked up Scarlett and they walked off, and wish I could do that. We cut to a segment with, hey, Thea, you fucking doing, Tone? You gonna eat that fucking cannoli, huh? The D'Angelo family, huh? You're on the fucking road. And Tony's like, hey, I want a fucking shot of the NXT Heritage Cup, man. The longer I do the accent, the worse it gets. Hey, I want a shot of that Heritage Cup that fucking Fugazi Charlie Dempsey got. So APA fucking Dual Tone is on the hunt, but he also needs help from his cronies. He gets by with a little help from his friends. He gets high with a little help from his friends. If you need anybody, I need somebody to do my fucking dirty work, and it's his boy Stax Lorenzo is going to be doing some dirty work for him. I need some fucking tapes of the NXT Heritage Cup. Some more the fucking tapes. Anyways, move forward. I'm trying to make this entertaining. WWE NXT tag team titles on the line here. Axiom and Nathan Frazer. Team Vertigo defending the titles against the Authors of Pain. Akam and Rezar. With Karrion, Paul Ellering, and Scarlett. Come on, bro. Come on. Give me a fucking break, all right? Anyone out there is like, shut up, bro. Come on. Even girls out there, there's no girl watching my NXT review, but if there is, come on, man. Even you'd be curious if she's like, hey, do you want to come to this room and explore me? Even you'd be like, oh, I'm straight, but geez, I got to see what this is like. I'm sorry. Okay. I love that they brought Paul Ellering back, man. It's like the WWE, right? What they're doing is they're trying to right the wrongs, right? That's confusing. They're trying to right the wrongs of what happened before when that fucking dickhead Vince McMahon wouldn't make his mind up about shit, and he kept changing his mind about shit. And you had acts from NXT that were doing a good job together, and they get fucking released. They get shit canned. You know? Authors of Pain back in a good spot. Good. They're a great tag team. I like these big boys. When they brought them to the main roster and Paul Ellering was told to hit the fucking bricks, I like saying that. I've said that a few times today. They told Paul to hit the bricks as soon as they brought him to the main roster. I was so glad to hear that now Vince is gone, they brought Paul back with AOP because it's bullshit. Like, I don't understand the fucking big problem. If the old boy wants to be on the road and he still looks good, then put him on the fucking road. But they're righting the wrongs. Karrion, Kross, and Scarlett should have never been fucking released. Made no sense. So stupid. Fuck me. You try to make him look like a gladiator, Vince? You fucking old fuck. Oh, don't be an ageist. Shut up. Shut up. They're not supposed to be at the cutting edge of Gallows and Anderson. There's another team that, were let down and then brought back. And hopefully they end up doing something with them soon. Anyway, what am I talking about here? Oh, yeah. The tag team title match. The match started off ferociously. And I have no idea how the Authors of Pain are going to lose to these guys, I have to say. I have to be honest. AOP dominated into commercial break. They continued on their assault out of it and nearly had Nathan Frazer pinned. Axiom low-bridged one of AOP, and the little guys did the best they could to try to finish off one of the other guys from AOP. Scarlett got involved. Fuck. And the referee sends them to the back. Although the referee didn't get to have his little moment in the sun. You know, when referees get to eject people, that's their cum shot moment where they get to go and they do that and the crowd pop and they're like, yeah. It's just like, fuck off. Some of these spots in wrestling are really funny, man. Anywho, fuck. Referee sends Scarlett and Kross to the back. During this, Pete fucking Dunne and Tyler fucking Bear. They got involved in Costeo pay the match, yeah? Nathan Frazer, Axiom win via what? Like a fucking, I don't know. Is it a roll up? I don't know. They win in 9:35 and retain their titles. Thea Hale backstage crying. Can't believe that she's been turned on again. Maybe you shouldn't be such a bitch, Thea Hale. Nah. She's clearly like a sweetheart. It's just she keeps running into bitches. But you know what they say, Thea? Bitches get stitches. Ridge Holland walks up to Andre Chase, which I was confused by because I've never seen the two of them interact whatsoever in the history of NXT. Ridge checks to see if Thea's okay, and Andre talks about his demons from his past, and he says he's there to help Ridge out whenever he needs. So I don't know what that's going to lead to, but we'll see. Metaphor were in the parking lot, and they said that they were going to reveal the secret next week on, oh, what's it called? Their little talking segment. Supernova Sessions. Fuck me. And they leave the building. Fallon storms outside, and Kalani comes out with her and wants to know what her problem is. That's Kalani Jordan, by the way. Fallon just makes it pretty simple. She needs to look out for herself, and she's sick of helping out. Like, okay, you could have done that without fucking punching someone in the head and ruining their big moment. Why didn't you just fucking leave? I love wrestling, bro. It's so stupid. Like, Fallon went out there to help, and she did help, but then she was annoyed that she helped because she ended up getting hit in the head. So she decides to turn on her friend and just hit her in the fucking head. And now they're never going to be friends anymore. It's hilarious. Backstage, Edris Enofi and Malik Blade were talking after Edris broke a mirror last week. 7 years bad luck. Fuck. Brindley Reese showed up, wanting to cheer the boys up. Oh, man. Could they not have thought of something more fucking stupid than this? I'm sorry. What gives you bad luck? Okay. I'll check that in a second. Okay. So he broke a mirror last week by accident. And everyone's like, oh, 7 years bad luck, bro. Nothing's happened, right? Brindley showed up with some black cats. 2, in fact. She had 2 black cats with her, which, as we know, means bad luck. What are the odds? Wouldn't it cross her mind beforehand that maybe bringing some black cats up to Edris Enofi, maybe that might upset him, considering that they're bad luck, apparently. Why would she do that? Why would she just have these 2 black cats with her? And when she entered the scene, she didn't even have them in her hands. Like, oh dear. Anything would have been better than that. Anything would have been better. Like, hang on, what's going on here? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like maybe like you should have had fucking Edris and Ovi accidentally walk under a ladder. Anyway, look. Gifting someone a clock. Oh, maybe he accidentally opens an umbrella inside the building. Oh shit. That's bad luck too. Anyway, let's keep going, hey? Sorry. So here we go. We get to the main event of the evening, bitch. Natalya with Karmen Petrovic. Holy shit. Takes on Lola Vice. Holy shit. With Shayna Baszler at ringside. Here we go, baby. Lola has her gate face on. Natalya comes out and my eyes can't leave Karmen. You gotta be joking me. I'm very tired, boys and girls. Okay. They have a added visual with this NXT Underground with the boxing ring announcing microphone coming down. Very good. They grappled around. Natalya dominated that early, and Lola fought back with kicks and strikes. Natalya got hit checked to the outside and knocked over some lumberjacks, which is always hilarious because they're just. Why don't they just let her bounce off them? Why don't they go every time? Natty suplexed Lola on the outside. Lola had Natalya in a triangle choke as she tried to get her back in the ring. Lola tried her hardest to choke Natalya out. There was a lot of suspense with this, and Natalya ended up taking Lola to the outside whilst being in that choke and slammed her on the fucking floor. Natalya went for a figure four around the ring post, and as Shayna Baszler got close, Karmen attacked Shayna, jumping on her back, which led to them accidentally colliding with Natalya and I've already forgotten it. Lola Vice. Oh my god, bro. Natalya locks in a sharpshooter. Oh, well, goes for one. Baszler gets involved. Natalya throws it to outside. Then she locks in a sharpshooter. Lola couldn't get out of it. She was in it for way too long, I think. Shayna had a chokehold on Karmen, though, soon after this, right near the entranceway where Natalya could see. It's unbelievable. So Natalya stopped the sharpshooter and went to go after Baszler, but Baszler ended up laying her the fuck out. She threw, I don't know. Natalya got back in the ring. I don't know what happened. She copped the sweet back fist from Lola Vice and then rained down forearms. And Lola won thanks to referee stoppage, not knockout. They go. Ring announcer, they go. That back fist needs to be her finisher. It's better than Eddie Kingston's. I'm not just saying that. It actually is. After the match, Lola Vice wins via referee stoppage in 11 minutes 51. Longest match in the show. Backstage, Roxanne Perez was with Ava, and we want to know what the go is. She wants to know who her opponent is next week. Roxanne has the title match, and it's against Chelsea Green. Yes, dude. Oh, Kane. Loved it. So there we have it. Nice little end to the show there. We're pumping up next week's episode of NXT. Let me think here. I'm going to give this show a 7.5 out of 10. Best show for the last month. Thank you. It's really annoying, isn't it? Okay, let's get some tweets, bro. One of my favorite things to do with the reviews now, looking at some tweets, bitch. Here we go. Tweet number one from, oh man, how am I going to read this out? Okay, at GeekXPop. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. GeekXPop by ally friend Team Hijinks. Fuck. Okay, on May 1st. Yep, so that's for this week. Who else thinks that hashtag Karmen Petrovic has the looks and ability to be a superstar in NXT soon? Bro, count me in on that thought process. Take one look at her. Are you kidding me? She walks into any room, everyone turns and looks. She's got the skills. She's got the martial arts. This is why it's so cool that NXT have brought in these athletes and taught them how to do the shit, because they're already good, because they're already athletes. They're not just hiring models and trying to make them wrestle, which, don't get me wrong, some of them did a very good job at that. Some of them did a tremendous job starting off as just a pretty girl and now becoming a wrestler. Like a Tori Wilson ended up doing pretty fucking good. Kelly, let's be honest, she did pretty good for someone who was not really an athlete. But Karmen Petrovic, she is like a black belt in something or other, so she can kick your ass whilst also looking absolutely freaking unbelievable. I am down with that geek pop. Down with it. Let's move forward to the next tweet. Mr. Wrestling 6. Meltzer said, here we go. So this isn't really about this spring breaking, but it's close. Meltzer said, NXT was supposed to be treated as a third brand during the draft. It doesn't feel like NXT is on par with Raw and SmackDown. Does that Meltzer guy ever tell the truth? Oh, well, I mean, my sources have told me that and you're gonna like this, Brian. Apparently that they're gonna be making like NXT like on par with like Raw and SmackDown in this draft. How about no? How does no sound, Dave? No. No, I don't want NXT to be on par with Raw and SmackDown. I don't want it to be the third brand. I like it being what it is. And it is for the talent on the main roster that haven't got much direction and need a bit of rejuvenation. And for the young upcoming athletes that they're bringing through the performance center, keep it like that. You've got Lexus King there. You've got Shawn Spears there, guys from the outside who are now relevant. You've got people from the main roster. Baron Corbin comes down, becomes fucking an awesome character, does some great work, headed back to the main roster. Dijak, suffering in Retribution or whatever that group was called, was just stuck on WWE main event, comes down to NXT, shows his worth back on the main roster. That's what this brand is supposed to be. It needs to be different. It is different. The show is quick and snappy, like Crash TV, like the Attitude Era, motherfucker. That's the way it's supposed to be. Keep your main roster being plodded along slowly and not being fast-paced like NXT. Keep it different. You know, if it were me, I'd make SmackDown and Raw different to one another as well. Could have different flavors. What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor. So, Meltzer, you can eat my ball butter. Well, I mean, I'd have to give California and his astute observation on what I had to say. I have to give that 5 stars. I mean, what I had to say was I just made something up again because like I need to make shit up to fill my newsletter every month. Fuck you, Dave. So mean. Anyway, next tweet from JRDNTHRN, or is it Jared Northern? No, Jared Thorne. Okay. Jordan Kafuku no Akuma Thorne. Okay, Jordan said this. So we're just not going to talk about how Lexus King wasn't drafted? Hashtag W draft, WNXT, NXT, WWE. Okay, Jordan, I appreciate your concern there, and also the gif of John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. I don't think Lexus is ready to go to the main roster yet. I think he needs more time in NXT to build some stories, to find some success, win some titles. We don't need to rush him. We don't need to rush him to the main roster. He's not quite there yet. I mean, he is. He could go up there now and still be pretty effective, but it's not his time yet. They just brought up Carmelo, Bron, and Ilya Dragunov. These people will find their time, I promise you. But fair enough that you have the concern. Next one. Shawn Bob Squarepants at Total Smeghead 89. We follow one another because we agree a lot of the time. Just wanted to throw a nice positive one here before I get to the negative ones. Not a single miss on NXT Spring Breakin. Banger. On the money, girl. On the money, girl. Thank you, Shawn. Next one. Okay, look, this one kind of made me laugh because of how badly typed it is, but I appreciate how sweet the person it comes across. I do not doing good. Oh, sorry, it's from Wilfred Morris at Morris 22200. I do not doing good job. Make NXT 3 brand. NXT go to keep get low rating as long WWE feel NXT is minor league. No main roster star was draft to NXT in the draft. You got your hashtags, right? Um, I don't know. I think it's okay that NXT's the minor leagues. I think it's okay. I don't think we need to make it like this thing that's on an equal play. Like, build it up as its own brand. Hopefully, now when they do a spring break and it's not a 2-week special and they actually just throw it out there on the road in a big building. I think everyone's being a bit too concerned about them being a third brand when they just need to stay being developmental. Thank you. Right. Darren Bongiovanni at HBKID 718. Is that HBK Kid? HB Kid? Again, the WWE draft is thrown out the window. Why is I'm Chelsea Green getting an NXT women's title match? She was drafted to SmackDown. This is stupid. Might as well forget the draft happened and just have everyone on every show. Darren, I don't know if you watch NXT every week, but they generally have an open door policy in NXT with the main roster. As you see on this show, the OC, they're down in NXT. Natalya popping into NXT to wrestle there. I'm sure she won't be back after this loss. Mia Yim just showed up on this show. Again, you had Baron Corbin. You've had the Alpha Academy. They come here, popped in, left. Baron Corbin isn't really the same. He was there for some time, but Alpha Academy have done it. Chad Gable did it this year. Heaps of people from the main roster have popped in for a cup of coffee. I have a feeling Chelsea's popping into NXT because they probably really feel like they don't have a lot to do with her on the main roster right now. So she might have either a short stint. I mean, this is total. She might have a short stint or a long stint. I mean, that remains to be seen. That's something that Dave Meltzer would say because then he's giving both answers, so that he can always be right. Plans changed. I reckon she's there to scoop up Robert Stone and get that act back together because they were a good act in NXT before she got released. Another victim of Vince. Why would you fire Chelsea Green? Take one fucking look at her and listen to her when she talks as a character. She's hilarious. But yes, Darren, I want to make it pretty clear, like, okay, she's probably on SmackDown, but she's probably just dropping down to NXT for a bit of a run or to put over Roxanne Perez. Anyway. Last tweet, and then I can sail off to the sunset. It's from Exil, ECKZILE_. If it wasn't for the hype around excuse me, let me try that again. If it wasn't for the hype around an underground match, y'all would have said that this match makes no sense. They really tried to sell us on an MMA style match with Lola Vice and Natalya, and it wasn't Lola squashing Natalya. Why wasn't Shayna who she faced? Okay. Well, number one, I'm sure you know this, Lola Vice is a former MMA fighter and has had plenty of MMA training. Number two, Natalya was trained in the dungeon. She knows about submission wrestling and shoot fighting. I wouldn't have Lola squash Natalya. You'd want Lola to beat a competitive Natalya here so she looks even better. Why wasn't Shayna who she faced? Because Exil, Shayna's a heel, and so is Lola. Doesn't work that way. I think it did make sense based on their backgrounds. Lola challenged her to this type of match, and we got it. Lola's thing was MMA, so why wouldn't she go down that road? Anywho, there we go. There's the response to some tweets. There's my review of NXT Spring Breakin Week 2. California Slam Society, please subscribe. Hit the bell. We're dying for it, bro. And I appreciate your time. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.